Andrew is our firstborn. He's been a great kid his whole life. He's very logical. He's a problem solver. He's a thinker. He doesn't suffer fools well at all. He doesn't do foolishness. And a perfect example, I think when he was 3 or 4, we're at the lake, and I'm driving the boat, and he's back in a tube at 3 or 4 years old. And so my mom and dad have always been lake people, but they're not big water people. They're not very good swimmers, to be honest with you. Matter of fact, they don't swim at all. And so my mom wanted to get in the water with Andrew. She wanted to get in the water. One time, I'm going to get in the water while I still can. I'm going to get in the water with him. So she gets back with him in the tube, and you know, boat slows down, and you know what happens. The tube always wobbles when the boat slows down. So my mom, the tube flips over. Andrew's got a life jacket. We've had him in a life jacket his whole life. He's been on that tube. We've slung him. He's going to be fine. Well, my mom, the tube flips over on both of them, and we can't see him. So my dad, who can't swim, he jumps up on the engine compartment and starts getting nervous about my mom, who can't swim. So then she gets nervous about her firstborn. So they both kind of panic. Well, I jam that throttle forward to try to get back to him. Well, it throws my dad in the water with no life jacket, fully clothed. He's a long sleeve, he's pants, he's a good old Pulaski County guy, and he's in no swimwear at all. So now I got my dad in the water, and I got my mom who can't swim. And so I'm left with a tough decision, like, what am I going to do here? And I'll be honest with you, the first thought is, how am I going to explain this to my sister and to the authorities? We've lost them both, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to explain that to my sister first. I'm really more worried about the police, to be honest with you. So my dad's in the water, and he's all the way down, and I've never seen this before. He's swimming straight up. He's like 6 feet in the water, and I see him, and he's freestyling vertically. And so we get him in the water, we get him in the boat, and we finally get back to my mom, who's got a life jacket on. And so we're all panicked, and I remember Andrew at 3 years old looking at us like, what in the world are you doing? And so he's always been a very nonsense guy, and if you do foolish stuff, he doesn't have a lot of time for it. He's a thinker, he's a problem solver, he really cares about other people, he wants to do the right thing. He's somebody that when things get tough, you want Andrew on your side. And Kaylee, I think, is the perfect complement to him because she is somebody who keeps him light and who, Andrew, it's going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to be okay. Don't get too stressed out. We're going to work this out. So, what I would say to Andrew is, your mom and I, we could not be more proud of you as a kid.
Yeah.
We couldn't love you more. You've been a great kid. We're so proud of you as a man. I think as parents, you want your child to find somebody who loves you like they love you. And then we think we found that. Kaylee could not be more of a special girl. Andrew's got a lot of qualities that I admire, and I don't really realize, where'd you get those? How did you get so patient? How'd you get such a good work ethic? How'd you do all those things? And then I look and I see a mother who has loved her kids like a mother should.
Amen.
I see siblings like Andrew or like Spence and Ella, and I see grandparents, and I see aunts and uncles, great aunts, and friends, and people who aren't even here, coaches, teachers, and then you realize, and there's a famous politician who I don't always agree with, who said it takes a village. And I kind of used to poo-poo that until you have your own kids and you see them grow up. And then you realize how many people impacted. Their best friends. They all add to that. And I see Kaylee, and I see a guy like Matthew who comes down. Now I may or may not have jumped a boat one time with the red on a black, black on a red, and blew a motor out. And that blew a fuse, and Matthew worked a 12-hour shift at Baxter's Coffee, and he came and changed that fuse out. I mean, he's got his head stuck underneath the boat in a position you can't imagine anybody getting. He's in there for hours. And he changes that because he loves his sister, and he wants her to have a good time. Or Kaylee's parents, Missy and Patrick, who bring her cold medicine all the way from Somerset, an hour and a half drive up, an hour and a half back, and I hear her tell stories about all those folks, and you realize that Dad doesn't get to take all the credit. That all you in this room get credit for the people they are, and people are not even in this room. So I would propose a first toast, Andrew and Kaylee. And I would say to the village, a job well done, Kaylee and Andrew. Yeah. And then the second toast would be, Andrew, we couldn't be more proud of you, I know we said it. Kaylee, we could not be happier that you're going to marry our kid. I read this, that a great marriage is when you wake up every day and think you got the best end of this book. I feel that way with her, and I think you'll feel that way with each other. Here's to Kaylee and Andrew, and happy marriage.
Yeah!
Now I'm going to sit down. I'm going to hand this over to Misty, Kaylee's mom, who's going to give a prayer and say a few words of her own.
Look at that little baby. She's talking about.